gonna believe this, but that stuttering was government tampering. Like when I was filming the last video, they controlled the Explorer, so I was playing it a little bit longer, and then it stopped mysteriously, and I was like, yeah, they can do that with the DLL process that's always up, and I guess it would be called indexing, and I'm pretty sure they stopped bothering me with the USB disconnects. What they do is they, say you have a bad credit score, right? Even though it's their fault for, doing something to the Constitution. Say you're playing a game, right, on your computer. Well, they can have access to Explorer. I mean, they won't be able to do it to a PS4 or anything, or even an iPod, but they can do something to this. And I thought about it, right? I literally did. I literally thought about it. They have access to the USB. Like if you put your controller down on the ground, basically, they can tell that your USB has a power wattage fluctuation. They have like a program through say it's an unsigned driver or something. It could even be signed, it doesn't matter. And they can disconnect your mouse or whatever device you have on your computer if they wanted to. They do this by when they notice lots of movement of voltage, because an AC current, a DC current can fluctuate. If the device moves, bam, they'll disconnect it at random times. And you'll think, oh, I need a new controller or something, No. That's not usually the case. The USB is totally controllable. Otherwise, they wouldn't have control over assigned drivers like that. And I just wanted to throw that out there. Because the stuttering on the Venus stage actually disappeared. But I thought it was weird that it just returned or something out of nowhere. Because usually I don't see it. So I thought that was an interesting, fun fact. Usually it just hovers around the 30 FPS, kind of. And the stuttering shouldn't be there, right? But it was there. Like, it's very awkward. It's like a PS4 not loading properly. It could be the DLL process in the Explorer. I still don't know per se, but I'm going to find out, I guess, someday. Yeah. So the controller didn't disconnect once throughout, like, yesterday and today. And other than that, the graphics are fine. They're running fine. But if your games, say you turn your camera like this, right? Notice how I'm turning my camera and it doesn't, it has a constant frame rate. It doesn't stutter. That's what it's supposed to do. If your game stutters in any way, that's government tampering. I call it government tampering because it's tampering. It's an invasion of privacy. And what's happening is that maybe a DLL host has indexing capabilities, or maybe your cache is, it could be that your cache is on. I don't know. It could be that my cache only reaches 500 before it's turned off. But stuttering can occur when your cache reaches like 5,000 on a good computer. So a fast computer without auto cache deletion, good luck with that, you know. Good luck with that, because you're gonna have stuttering, even on a 4GB video card. Just throwing that out there. It's like it could be the Explorer, but I think it was just that the stage just loaded, and the cache was reaching 500 or whatever it is that it reaches before it's deleted. Very important to delete cache on 1GB video cards. Anyways, since if your map button doesn't come up right for some reason, that's either USB wattage control, like, you know, programs can control the speed of a fan. Well, unsigned drivers can be controlled, or, you know, maybe it's a computer without updates. Could be controlled with you know, with something about with wattage manipulation. They can know when you put the device down and up, the voltage will fluctuate. And then they'll disconnect it right when you do that. And you'll be like, oh, bad wiring. Very common practice that they do. And I don't know who they are per se, so I'm just gonna say it in a broad sense. I'm just gonna say the government. Because who cares about Explorer, right? Well, everyone who would have access to Explorer would care about Explorer. Explorer is what runs a computer. It's a web browser that's built under Microsoft Windows. So that's how they made Microsoft Windows. Really, for business, for third-party companies. Anyways, I'm just throwing that out there because I think it's interesting, not because I'm a conspiracist. I did fix the end delay button on here, so if I press Q, it can stay up, so I can surf around it like that with my joystick like that. So that's interesting. I literally don't know why they're not disconnecting my controller today. Like, I'm shaking it everywhere. Like, I'm doing everything I can to, you know, to get it to disconnect. I even put it on the ground just now. Usually that will disconnect it, because they'll be like, oh, power fluctuation. You know, but if it reaches if your controller reaches that power fluctuation, say, this is why they bother me, is that controller shouldn't even disconnect on standby mode, but they have it to do so. Third-party controllers, so you have to buy a $50 Steam controller. I think you actually have to. That's the thing. Computers are very controllable, and I don't know there are millions of hackers, so like how much spec in the universe, so it's not really relative, but yeah. But I'm finished with that controllers, so I'll upload it to Steam under Sniper99. But I am finished with fixing it so the Xbox controller works on it. We'll see if the Steam bug comes up. You know, it's where the console goes haywire for some reason, right? There's no reason for it. and the controller disconnects. So I'm waiting for that. I think you might even have to play longer than 4 hours or something. Um, why would it do that? I don't know. I don't know who it would be. Game developers, the government, someone accessing their computer. Probably. Um, hmm. Yeah, I also have a scroll function, so I can scroll now. Yeah, I took out the shift function, but I made it so that if the controller does disconnect, all it does is it reverts to uh, the primary activator. So it will reconnect with all the buttons on it with the primary activator. And that's how I bypass the disconnect thing. So it can disconnect whatever. Maybe I won't have a D-pad on the menu. Like maybe I won't be able to do this stupid thing. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Maybe I won't do this. But usually it connects all my controls under the secondaries. Really really tedious. It bothers me because someone's doing it. It's not a machine doing it. It's not bad technology. The technology is fine. It's the people behind the technology that's corrupt. It's always been that way. Yeah. So never seen anything weird happen to a PS4 in the last since I got it. So that's what I'm talking about. Is they must really like the PS4 because no one can get into the PS4's network. Like it's like they tried to actually destroy Sony by sending hackers to the Sony Corp because it's such a profitable business. Yeah. It's that water. Don't worry, I don't drink every day. But when I do drink, I get a little bit more sober. It's weird. It's like I'm. It's like I get smarter. Yeah. Um, I would buy a Steam controller, to be honest, but I did bypass the Steam controller with this game, so I don't have a need to anymore. Like I have the game's controller used to not be too friendly. Like if you go to the main configuration and you press like a button, right, it'll go everywhere. Like it won't make sense. Like see the menu down there? Like you press this, right? I had it so it had to be held down because I feel more natural that way. And then you go there like that. And there's a minor bug, and I didn't want to release press. I put a release press because of the bug. Like the bug would be like you try to get into the menu but you can't. Like I did a lot of things for people all around the world. Now people in India, can play on their shitty 1 gigabyte PC and their shitty 56K connection or something. I don't know what they would have, but maybe they would have like an Indian company internet, a local government if that creates the internet. I don't know. So they could use that, and they could play with a shitty controller by like these are manipulated all the time for some reason. These are really good controllers, and they're really cheap. They're like $10. Uh, and they could use XBCD, and they can, you know, they can use a controller with an unsigned driver that might disconnect or it might not. But right now, so far, the unsigned driver is not disconnected yesterday or today, and that's unusual. Like I've never seen that. And I didn't do anything. I didn't change anything on the computer. Um, See that stuttering right there? That's an outside source. That's not a. I don't think that's a computer at all. Sorry, I don't think that's part of the graphics card at all. That's part of like a DLL process or a task host process on the computer that's always on, or an Explorer.exe process. Explorer.exe is always on. So the Explorer itself. So you might get some stuttering, and they can make it into a major issue. They can, if they wanted to, they could make the computer really slow and really choppy. They've been doing that to my computer for months. So I just have to stay ahead of the game and make sure I know what they're doing. As for that Indian-Pakistan crisis, I'm a big, I love science fiction books. I love comic books. Like, I grew up with comic books, science fiction books, and, before that it was like dinosaurs and maybe maybe Transformers and Musclemen. But that's way before that. But I grew up with comic books, and I grew up with uh, reading sci-fi, and I do like conspiracy theories. Like I do like apocalyptic scenarios. So let's hope this Indian-Pakistan war thing comes to a pass. Nostradamus says it's real. A bunch of conspirators say, India and Pakistan will start World War III. Because humans might be stupid. See that? This is how a PlayStation 4 would run, right? But a PC will always have some sort of slowdown if it wants to. Like it needs something to control the PC through the internet. That's why it's such a good idea to play offline gaming, because online gaming isn't even that. Especially by Microsoft, anything with Microsoft on it is not a good. Might not be a good gaming experience. Like you might not be getting your money's worth. So it's not stuttering now, but I'm waiting for it to stutter again. Because graphics cards don't stutter, if you're wondering. And RAM doesn't stutter, it's the operating system and its functions. Yeah, it's not stuttering, but we caught a few. Yeah, a few slowdowns here and there. Just a few slowdowns. Oh, that's a pretty cool function. Check that out. The iPhone's amazing, by the way. Wow. Oh, look at that. Yep, that is neat. Wow. That's great technology right there. I like the dream. I like this thing. It actually doesn't look like it's a dream. It looks like, you know, you're on drugs or something. Oh, LSD. Now that is neat. The stuttering, right, on a PC. It could be that the video card is old because it doesn't happen on GP. It could be a video card issue. I honestly don't know. It could be a GPU. It could be that the game tries to load, but I simply think it's CPU. I think it's affiliated with that tampering. That's what I think it is. So I just don't think it's. Even though this stage is really big and it probably needs like 2 GB, you know, you'll get 2 GB and it'll stutter. You know, it's just not worth it. Especially after this scam. A lot of the video cards out there are scammed cards. Um, it's like they're sending me potatoes or some shit. Okay. Alright, I'm glad Amazon doesn't do that. Amazon's a good company. It wouldn't do something like that. Anyways, yeah. That's it for today. I was just showing you the stuttering on that game. And it could be a loading problem with the graphics, with the environment being too big on a weak video card. But, I mean, I've never seen that on a console before. And I've had a lot of, I've played a lot of consoles. I just think it's a developer issue that that the consoles might surpass that the PC doesn't, or a resource issue with RAM. Who knows what it actually could be? But like maybe if I had 8 GB instead of 10 GB, it might actually not stutter as much. I don't know. It could be heat from the RAM. It could be, you know, it could be that. I could be wrong about the stuttering being. I could be right about the stuttering being just a simple hardware. Like, you know, I don't even notice any difference between 8 GB and 10 GB. unless I play like War Thunder. So, uh, but free to play gamer like me will will look at anything that's wrong with the settings and hardware, and I could always put it down, of course. This is the highest settings, and I chose 800 by 600 because, to be honest, I just like 800 by 600. It just looks a little bit more CGI, so I use that. It doesn't actually increase the frame rate from 1024. I'd get the same frame rate. This monitor only supports 1024. That one 1280. And yeah, I think it does. I don't. I think it doesn't. It supports like high resolution. Yeah. So that's the end of this stream.